In today's day and age, this is a stunning act of bravery and, yes, defiance. Two high school track stars refused to stand on the medal podium after placing in the Oregon State Championship for the high jump. Why? Because the athlete standing next to them was a biological male.
Also in fifth place for Miami Wells, Leah Rose. Fourth place honors to Sherwood's Reese Eckerd. In third place from Tiger, Alexa Anderson.
Alexa Anderson and Reese Eckerd placed third and fourth, respectively, but tied for fifth was a trans athlete, Leah Rose. The two teens refused to take their places on the podium and turned their backs to it, quietly protesting a system that forced them and their teammates to surrender spots to a trans. Here to tell her story is Alexa Anderson, along with Jessica Steinmann, Executive General Counsel at America First Policy Institute. Alexa, look, you finished ahead of the trans athlete in this case, but there's time and again instances where trans athletes have taken awards and 1, 2, and 3 spots from female athletes. Did you take a stand for them as well?
This was my first time competing against a transgender individual, so this is the first public stand that I have taken in this issue, but I have privately supported all other girls that have done the same with positive messages, commenting on posts, and just supporting them and letting them know I'm behind them in any way.
Alexa, what do you have to say to people watching across the country about the unfairness of this? Why is it unfair?
It's unfair because biological males and biological females compete at such different levels that allowing a biological male into our competition is taking up space and opportunity from all these hardworking women. The girl in 9th who should have been in 8th and had that podium spot had that taken away from her, as well as many others.
In all of those slots, Jessica, whether you're 8th or 5th or 4th, that all works toward, your points and your national standing. And so all of those places matter. People say, oh, she didn't finish first, second, or third, so it doesn't matter. But it does matter. And I think Alexa made that point.
No, it's so important, Laura. And I want to say thank you to Alexa for really standing up for all the courageous girls out there and doing the right thing. And Laura, thank you for bringing attention to this national issue. I think one thing that we've talked about is access to the podium, access to those scholarships. And in this situation, not even just that access, but the First Amendment issue that came about when they were asked to and kind of sidelined from the competition here.
So tell us about that, Alexa. Being in any way ostracized or treated differently because you have a common sense view on this. A lot of young women are afraid to speak out or even do a silent protest.
Yeah, we stepped off the podium in protest, and as you can see in the video, an official kind of told us, hey, go over there. If you're not going to participate, get out of the photos.
So you couldn't even have your moment. That wasn't allowed. You had to stand forward, not your back to it.
Yes, they asked us to move away from the medal stand. So when they took the photos, we weren't even in it at all.
Yes. Well, you don't really deserve to be there because you just worked hard and you competed, and you've done it your entire life, by the way, which is a grueling sport that takes hundreds and even thousands of hours to perfect at any level. Jessica, I know America First Legal has filed discrimination actions in these cases. Briefly explain this to us. I think you filed a Title IX case.
Yes. So America First Policy Institute, we filed a complaint with the Department of Education asking them to look into the Oregon Department of Education. Here we're asking, so a Title IX, you're right, Laura, a Title IX violation, so the men and the women's sports. But on top of this, because of this weekend's race, that the women were excused, they were sidelined, they were told to get out of there. We also would like them to look at a First Amendment issue. And Laura, this is, you know exactly this. This is why the First Amendment was created. When a citizen has an issue with their government, especially about their own rights, they should be able to speak out. And these girls were not allowed to speak out.
Well, is there a rule that they had to face a certain way? I bet not. They'll probably write one if there isn't one. But I don't believe there's a rule in this case that you have to stand at a certain angle to be a legitimate athlete worthy of a photo on the podium that you earned your right to be on. Alexa and Jessica, we're following this case very closely. Continue to be a great athlete and a great role model, Alexa, for what you're doing. You're a star. Thank you very much.